Right now, we're going to chat with David Lacey, a Notre Dame parent. His son is football player Jacob Lacey. David is also a COVID-19 survivor. David, we are so glad you are here and with us this evening. Thank you for joining us.
It truly is a blessing to be on your show, Jack, and to be here today. I'm excited. Thank you very much.
Now, your son Jacob is home with you now because of COVID-19. What has it been like to have so much time with Jacob?
Well, again, in the middle of this darkness, the light is I've been getting to spend time with my family. I'm going to tease. The only thing I don't appreciate is I forgot how much he eats. My grocery bill is through the roof. I'll be glad when he get back to school so they can feed him. But it's been great. We've been playing Uno. He's been kicking my butt in Uno in the family. He's been letting us know about that. He's glad to finish up classes on Wednesday, and he's just having a good time being at home. He's across the room right now playing video games with some of his buddies and his brother.
Well, we're all very pleased to hear that you are keeping up his nutrition. He had a terrific freshman year at nose tackle, recording 14 tackles in 11 games. How have his home workouts been going?
He is, Jacob's always had that inside of him. Nothing I taught him is God-given. He goes to an area here called D1. They give him the key. He goes in there by himself. There may be another guy, George Fant, who plays down with the New York Jets, who's from here, Western Kentucky, and they work out sometimes. But he works out every day. He follows it. He eats clean. He takes his smoothies 30 minutes after his workout. He stretches with the bands. He comes in sweating and stinking every day. So he is doing it.
That's what we want to hear. Now, you recently recovered from your own difficult battle with COVID-19. Can you tell us about your experience?
Yeah, and to give you a little background, I have my degree in nursing, but I've worked in the medical field for 30 years. I'm a pharmaceutical cardiovascular, working in cath labs. But March 16th, I woke up and I knew I was sick. I had a headache. I never have a fever, and I had a low-grade fever, and it was only between 99.8 to 100.4, not 104, but 100.4. And I had the weird symptom of where I rubbed my eyes, my eyeballs hurt. And I read that and had the dry, hacky cough. About 3 times a day, I would break up with a chill. When my temperature would go up, I would take my Tylenol. There was no problem for the first week. I would just take that and I'd rest. Second week, I lost my appetite and I wouldn't eat. And anybody knows me, I got my appetite the same way Jacob does. I'm an eater. So that kind of unnerved me, but I had to be cool in front of my wife and the kids. And then I would just rest. The thing about this disease, it tricks you and it makes you lay down. And when you lay down, you feel fine. But when I would get up, that's when I would have some respiratory issues and I would cough. I isolated myself in the basement for those 2 weeks. And to fast forward, after I lost my appetite, I woke up March 30th. So this is almost 2 weeks to the day. I woke up March 30th and I knew I was in trouble. I woke up, and as soon as I sat up, I lost my breath. And I knew my O2, what we call O2 saturation, where the oxygen's in your blood, was low. So when I stood up, I got real dizzy, and I tried to get up the steps. I took about 3 steps up the stairs, and I felt like I ran a marathon. I couldn't breathe. I was weak. And I tried to fake it again to get upstairs, and I finally told my wife to go to the ER. Now, that was the 3rd time, Jack, I've been to the ER. The first 2 times I was, quote, not sick enough, and I understood that. They finally took me into the hospital, and it was bad. I don't know how much further you want me to go, but the doctors looked at me, took the chest x-ray, did a CTA, which a chest x-ray would die. My blood work my inflammatory markers were 10 times the norm. And I couldn't breathe. I would stand up. My O2 saturation when I laid down was 98%, which is good. As soon as I sat up, it would drop into the low 80s, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't stand up. And I had true bad respiratory problems. And the last thing I'll say is when they looked at my x-ray, they said my lungs, it was inflamed, very white on the camera, lit up like a Christmas tree, they said. So I was bad off and heading the wrong way.
And as a medical professional, it must have been terrifying because unlike most of us, you knew exactly what all these tests were indicating. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned through this whole pandemic?
Well, number one, and I already knew this, is appreciate life. For me, my faith got me through. I don't know how anybody does it without God. You know, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ got me through. When that doctor looked at me, you know, some of the worst people are the medical field. We're in denial a lot of times. And when she looked at me and said, David, I said, is it okay? Do I need to get things right at home? And she said, it wouldn't be a problem. You might want to talk to your family. I had to call my brother and tell him, take care of my family. I called Coach Elston, the defensive line coach, and I said, look, Coach, and I'm broken down crying right now because the doctor's saying that, you know, I could possibly die. I called Coach Elston, it was one of my calls, and said, I need you to take care of my son, Jacob. Make sure he graduates from Notre Dame if things don't go the way I wanted to go. And I called my pastor. So the lesson is, you know, what's truly important. This disease this virus is real. It's not a Republican problem. It's not a Democratic problem. Not a black, white, rich, poor. This virus it does not discriminate, and it doesn't care what party you're affiliated with. And again, my biggest thing is I love my family, and just remember, life is about your family, your friends, and breath. I can get a new house, I can get a new car, I can't get another life. So life is good now.
David, terrific words. I know the university is going to retweet them. I'm going to retweet them. Everybody should hear them. We are, of course, hoping that Jacob is part of some huge Notre Dame victories in the coming season, but I think all of us have already been able to, via distance, and certainly in your household, one of the biggest Notre Dame football family victories has already occurred. You beat COVID-19, and we are
Amen.
so happy for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you
David,
very much.
thank you. Thank you.